Beep, 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 beep.
We have quite a high ratio of staff to guys, and everyone really works together. So although all of the people that are participants do have a disability, it feels much more inclusive than exclusive. And we have Bex, who does the art, so she leads the art and I just help. I lead the drama. And then we have Tina
to Kansas
and Michael.
Could we just ask that this small yappy person stay here with us? He'll be safe here.
Who are our sort of assistants in terms of the drama. They're both professional practitioners, and then April is a member of the Heart of the South Care Agency, and she does all the more difficult stuff in terms of the care. But she also does the drama, and we're all trained in terms of the care, but that's not our specialism, that's hers. And actually quite a lot of the helpers that we have here also have special needs of some kind.
The therapeutic benefits of being creative, they're pretty well known these days, thankfully, and it's an absolute joy to enter action every Friday. When we bring together the creative self-expression of performing, the ownership of creating props through the artistic session in the afternoon, all of those things pulled together, there's a huge amount of benefit to mental health, to our emotional well-being, and a lot of relationship building goes on as well throughout all of those processes. Many years ago I was involved in performing and studying acting. I did my exams at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts, and I did some amateur dramatics, a bit of panto, and it's something I'd shelved for a long time. So the opportunity to get back into that from a personal point of view, combined with this creative aspects of running the art sessions and all of the benefits that from all of those things, and bringing that to others, was just a winning combination.
My assistants are my trainers, and I go at the speed of light, so I can sort of change time, like speed things up. It's the first marathon I've run for Prospero. This year I was really lucky to get a place in the ballot, so I could choose who I wanted to raise funds for. So I chose to raise funds for Prospero because it is so close to my heart. The last 11 miles I was on my own in a sea of people, and I kept thinking back to all the guys at Friday Club and that they might be watching, and they were rooting for me, and it just carried me through, just thinking of them.
I like to push the guys in this group beyond what they are capable of doing. Well, what they think they're capable of doing, actually. I like to push quite a few of the members in the group to come out of their shell. And I like to make sure when we're devising, when they're in my groups, that they are in roles that they enjoy. For this play, The Wizard of Oz, with the Wicked Witches, I've been pushing the guys to go beyond what they normally would see as like horror and whatnot. So I like to get them to think of great detail, and in this case, very gruesome details as well. I encourage gruesome details. Say, for example, the voodoo, like shrunken heads, and doorknobs made out of kneecaps, and also curtains made out of human skin.
One of the really important things are that everybody here has goals that they aim for, and it's about moving people out of their comfort zone and challenging them, but not obviously taking them so far that they hit the panic zone, or if they are in the panic zone, to bring them back into the stretch zone or zone of proximal development where we all learn the best. So within that framework, everyone has goals, both artistic goals and social goals, and one of the most important things that we work towards with the guys is independence. So it's all about kind of resilience rather than reliance.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm an actor / volunteer for the Friday group, and I enjoy it. I've been with the Friday Club now for a year plus. Tell me more acting wise, and It's now steering me on a path towards caring for other people. Oh, Monday Club is the exclusive adult group, which is a few adults that get together and they make a show because it's all part of the Mind Fitness. So we base all our plays around that, with how to cope, anxiety, depression, all that. It all comes under Mind Fitness with the foxhole mainly. So, and we've been, it's a thing where you go into your mind and it's sort of like somewhere in your mind where you trap yourself and it puts you on a downward spiral and it puts you into this state when you can't get out, like a deep well when you're trying to climb out and you can't. I think there's a fair bit of difference between Friday Club and Monday Club. Friday Club I've got a bit of both acting and helping, but Monday is more focused on the acting. It's focusing on all the strong points what I need in order to push myself forward to be a better actor. So it's what gradually Beth does. It's a step-by-step process of pushing me to do different things and basically then learning all the points all the areas where I'm blank, and then kind of filling in them spaces of the blankness, and then just progressing forward. Brilliant. It's a brilliant, absolute brilliant group.
We give, a huge amount of support in the way that it's most needed. So, for example, we have one person who's with us at the moment, who's been with us a few years now. And when he first came, he came with a carer for the whole day. And then he came with a carer up to lunchtime. This was after a term. And then he came with his carer just up to the coffee break. And then just in the morning for morning coffee before we start. Now, he not only comes on his own, but he leaves on his own. And that was again a stagger process, first lamppost, second lamppost, until he'd got all the way home. And his sense of achievement is extraordinary. And it's the same in terms of the artistic challenges that we do. So everyone has things which within each play that we work on, they want to accomplish. So it could be something as simple as managing a coordinated movement. We had somebody who has severe coordination problems who did a very simple stage fight, and we worked on that step by step by step until they could do it. And it's transferable skills, so it's also about getting the guys to understand that everything they learn here can be transferred to other parts of their life, and that the achievements that they find here and the sense of confidence that they gain is really important. And I suppose alongside that is one of the main principles or kind of ethos of Friday Club is ownership. At the moment, what we've been doing is improvising around the story, giving it our own kind of twist and making it as original as we can.
You then.
Me?
Scarecrow, step forward. You believe yourself to have no brain. Let us see how smart you really are.
If you answer this appropriate entry, then the question.
Answer me this riddle. What walks at 4 legs at dawn, 2 at meridian, and 3 at dusk?
Is it a human?
Correct. For a man walks on all 4s at dawn when he is an infant. At meridian, he is in the prime of his life and stands tall and proud. And at dusk, he is but a weak and feeble old man, aided by a stick. You may pass.
From that improvising, essentially a devising process, I'll script, and then we'll come in and rehearse the play. And the wonderful Bex, who runs our art therapy, is in charge of then, at that point, they'll build the set, make the props. It's very much about the whole process that belongs to them, and they're challenged every step of the way, but they work incredibly as a team. really, they are a company. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant to see. The level of support for each other as well as from us is extraordinary. So the production that we're working on at the moment is The Wizard of Oz. So we're creating our own sort of storyline and making it very ensemble in feel. So we have a whole field of scarecrows and lots of additional characters that don't come into the text. For example, Spellicus, which is the spell book that gives their spells to the witches, and we have a really lovely forgetful witch.
I was totally lost until I heard you laughing and talking. Ancient and I will get the spell to poison the puppies. Spellicus, give us the spell for sleep. Now, Grandora wants the deepest possible sleep, but I've forgotten which is the highest number, 5 or 10. 5. You give that to me. I'll run it across to the puppies. Oh, well, I'm ever the grateful shadow. There'll be a different story once I get my new pick.
She was getting on a little bit in age, and she's getting most of her spells wrong by this point. So whatever production we're doing, that's a really key and important thing to make it as ensemble as we can. So our last production was Lion King. So one of the things that we did with that is, as characters were killed, because that happens during the story, they came back on stage and became the ancestors, the stars that in the book and in the film that are referred to, but you don't normally see them carry on and participate in the story. So in terms of The Wizard of Oz, as well as our wonderful Friday Club guys, we always link with 2 schools. So work, that's one of our strongest sort of partnership links. So we work with Hillcroft School and Sunnydown School on every Friday Club production. This year, the Hillcroft primaries are going to be the Munchkins, and the Sunnydown secondary lads at the special school are going to be the Flying Monkeys. So we've been kind of thinking about how that storyline can be developed and how the Flying Monkeys came to be subservient to the witch, so that they have a little bit more of a story rather than just transporting Dorothy from here to there. Each of those characters will be explored within the context of our cast. So as an example, we might have a wicked witch who wants to, as a person, wants to really think about what it is to empathise. We have quite a lot of guys with autism and Asperger's, and the whole empathy question is quite important for a lot of them, so we can do that sort of within the play. One of the things that we encourage people to be, and I guess train people to be, is flexible and adaptable, and actually that's an incredibly key transferable skill, because we have an awful lot of people here with autism, some quite high level autism, so coping with that kind of change is a really important part of the process. And as you're coming into performance, that has to carry on right until the last minute. We've had instances where one of the fairly main characters was not well on one of the days of performance, so we had to kind of divide the lines up in the corridor, which was an interesting experience. And being able to cover lines, so we don't work with a prompt. Everyone is trained to be able to cover each other's lines, and that's again a really important skill to learn. So for the last time in Lion King, when we gave out the challenges, our goals, for the first time we had 2 people with high-level autism in a scene on their own. So they had to be able to get themselves out of trouble and cover each other's lines and improvise out of it if there was a problem, and they did absolutely brilliantly. So it's trusting both yourself and the others in the team. We had one lad from one of the schools last year who got as far as the backstage bit and then never actually made it on the stage, and another one who came on in the wrong scene, so we had to make him into a different character at that point. So, yes, flexibility, being able to adapt is a really key part of the process. We always say that a company is a group who accepts each other's otherness and is prepared to work as a collective and let the individual and all of their worries and anxieties move to the side, and that in itself is a really positive experience. So the whole group are very much part of the devising process. So we first look sort of thematically about what the play needs to mean to us and to the audience that will come to see it. So we're looking at the moment at The Wizard of Oz, and our most important theme, everyone collectively decided, is that we have the power within us, and it's what we do with our lives is so important, both in helping us find it for ourselves and find it for other people.
Yeah, my name is James. Going down the yellow brick road and meeting all the characters. Good, magical and intriguing.
I like being with Beth, working with the acting, mostly working in groups, coming together and working like with friendship. Happy, joyful and jolly.
And I find that acting as a whole, for people on the autism spectrum, such as myself, it really helps them with learning about body language. Well, both the Friday Club and the Monday Night Adults Drama are inclusive drama groups. Although Friday Club is more aimed towards people with serious physical and mental disabilities. So some of the things that we do with the Monday night group would actually be physically impossible to do in Friday Club. But the Monday night group, we're the ones that are the far more outgoing. We are the ones that do the more outlandish stories. And we're also the ones that don't just focus on doing stories for children. We also do stories strictly for adults. And at the moment, we are working on a play called Coma, which is an adults-only play. And it's all about a woman who, in her 60s, meets her long-lost daughter and suffers a heart attack, and through the heart attack she faints and knocks herself out.
Are you Alicia Johnson?
Yes.
Oh, I've been looking for you. You see, the thing is, I think you might be my mother. Sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to. Do you want to sit down? Oh, I'm calling an ambulance.
And then when she wakes up in hospital, she finds, she thinks that she's 16 years old and thinks it's all the way back to the 1970s. We start in 1973 and finish up in, 2019. And I play the role of Eden, and I violate the main character.
I don't remember getting home. I was in shock. Which road did I take?
None.
Which path?
Marie!
A white bush. I was sitting in their garden.
Marie, she was asleep on the sofa when I went in.
I didn't tell her anything. I didn't know how.
I am the man who is basically the cause of the events of the story, because the long lost daughter is my child as well. I am the father.
Ours is like an interpretive dance on a track, which the two characters, Alicia and Eden, are part of. And what we're doing is we are mimicking and shadowing
we're doing it in a more positive way. So everything that's negative in their dance, we're doing in a more positive and sensual way.
It gives the audience to believe that while something bad is happening in one place, other places it's happening.
Yeah,
it's happening good.
And it's happening between two hospital beds.
Flashback of the party.
And so the part we're doing is right at the end of the play.
Where Eden meets Alicia, or Alicia meets Eden and asks them to dance. And it goes smoothly and then it goes really wrong. It goes not the way Alicia expects it to go, and Eden takes advantage of it all.
One-day evening drama is inclusive for adults. It's 50% people with disabilities and 50% not. We look at the needs of each and every person and think about how we can encourage and support. It's obviously also about achieving the best that we can in terms of the artistic pursuits. When we went to Edinburgh with Red and the Wolf, we got 4 or 5 star reviews.
February we lost our longest standing member, 13 years, and so everyone wanted to dedicate this show to Howard.
Howard, he would cry a lot just because he was so overwhelmed with joy and so grateful for everything in his life. And I just think, we have an awful lot to learn from Howard. Most of us have probably never been as happy as Howard was pretty nearly all the time. So that's how we ought to remember Howard, just smiling. Thank you.